Graphing linear equations. So an equation of two variables is an equation that contains both an x variable and a y variable. So to graph equations in two variables, a graph in two variables is a graph of an equation in two variables. For example, like y equals 2x minus 1. The points can be found by putting x values in and determining the y values that way. X would be the independent variable, y is the dependent variable. So here's a table of such. So like if we put -3 in here, 2 times -3 minus 1 is -7. Put -2 in there. 2 times -2 minus 1 is -5. So we get the ordered pair. When x was -3, y was -7. When x was -2, y is -5. And so on. And we get this graph out of that. We can plot this graph with those ordered pairs. So how to graph by plotting points. Make a table with one column labeled x, a second column labeled with the equation, and a third column listing the results in ordered pairs. I only did 2 columns here. Enter variable values down the first column using positive and negative values. Selecting the x values in the numerical order will make the graphing easier. Select x values that will yield y values with little effort, preferably ones that can be calculated mentally. Plot the ordered pairs and connect the points if they form a line. So notice here we have y equals 1/2 x plus 2. I chose, since it's 1/2 x, I chose even numbers for x, so I wouldn't have to have decimals in there. Okay, so let's put -4 in there. So 1/2 times -4 plus 2 is -2 plus 2. That's a negative, it doesn't really show up there, which is 0. So -4 comma 0, right about there. 1/2 of -2 plus 2 is -1 plus 2, which is 1. So -2 will give us a 1. 1/2 of 0 plus 2 is 2. So 0 gives us 2. 1/2 of 2 plus 2 is 1 plus 2, which is 3. So 2 gives us 3. 1/2 of 4 plus 2 is 2 plus 2, so that gives us 4. So x being 4 gives us a 4 for y. And we get this graph here. It's not the straightest graph, but it's not bad. I've had worse, not a bad graph. So there we go. Now we could also use intercepts to plot lines. So intercepts would be the points where the graph crosses an axis, or the axes. So the x-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis, and it's located at some value c comma 0. And the y-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the y-axis, and that's located at 0 comma c. So because x is 0 on the y-axis, y is 0 on the x-axis. How to find the intercepts of a linear equation. Find the x-intercept by setting y equal to 0 and solve for x. Find the y-intercept by setting x to 0 and solve for y. Okay, so we have our x-intercept. It's going to be y equals 0. So we have 0 equals -3/4 x plus 3. So I'll add 3/4 x to both sides. So 3/4 x equals 3. I'll multiply this by 4/3 to clear the fraction out. 3's cancel. So x equals 4. So 4 comma 0 is 1 point. And then for the y-intercept, set x equal to 0. So y equals -3/4 times 0 plus 3, or y equals 3. So 0 comma 3 is the other point. By the way, see there's 3 here? Same thing as that 3 there. Same thing as that 3 there. So in this form, that's called the slope-intercept form, where this is the y-intercept. So we get a graph like that. Okay. And that's the end of this section, of the section and this video. Okay. Now go do the homework.